Y'all, ladies, gentlemen, listen. I don't know what we got going on with our kids these days, but I'm gonna start off this video by saying how you are with your kids, how you are at home with each other if both parents are there, the way you speak and how you carry yourself. It speaks through your kids, right? Why do I say that? Look at the where we at? Look at the title of the video. See that? See that video? Now, I'm from South Carolina. For those of you who don't know, probably don't know much of me at all. I'm kind of new to this, but South Carolina's home. You dig? So like, the fact that I guarantee this is probably close to somewhere I lived in South Carolina. Like, when I say South Carolina home, all of South Carolina's home, right? But needless to say, 9 teens have been charged with a love triangle murder. That's gotta be the wildest title I've seen in like a long time. Anyway, before we get into it, man, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, man. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button, share the video, and hey, before we start, man, keep tabs on your kids, man. Keep tabs on your kids.
At least 9 teenagers are now charged with murder. They're accused of being part of a plot to lure a fellow teenager to a place where someone he knew was waiting.
I'm assuming this is the teen right here.
Was allegedly over a girl. Right now we know the names of 5 people who are facing charges in this story, and when we were researching the...
I guarantee all 5 of these individuals, they gotta be like, for their names to be released, I'll put over here so you can see all 5. They gotta be at least 17 to 18, maybe 19. 19, you're still a teenager even though you're an adult. 18, you're still a teenager even though you're an adult. All right. So,
newest names to be added to the list of suspects in this case.
I'm assuming the other 4 had to be minors.
One of the teens now charged with murder had apparently posted on her social media not too long ago. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
That'll never be my kid. I bet that's what their parents thought. I guarantee that's what their parents thought.
A story that we have been following out of South Carolina. It is a story of a group of young people who allegedly, according to police, came together to lure a fellow teenager to a place where he would be murdered. And all of this was allegedly over something that I think we can all agree, in the grand scheme of life, does not really matter, and that is teenage romance. This story has become even bigger since
none of that matters, man.
This case, which was back in June.
Hey, look, I don't know the age demographic of the people who gonna see this video, but listen, from someone who's been around the sun at least 30 times, right? I can tell you 100%. All the girls you think you might have loved, all the boys y'all think y'all might have loved in high school, after high school, none of them matter no more. You probably won't even keep in contact with maybe 2% of those people that you went to high school with. So, don't get so wrapped up on teenage love, man. Don't. Honestly, you're going to go to college and you're going to find another woman, you're going to find another man. You know, someone's going to spark your interest. You're going to break up with your high school girlfriend, or she's going to break up with you because she found a better dude. So, I'm going to keep it a stack. If it's high school drama, high school love, man, by the time you become a senior, just go ahead and leave that alone, man. Focus on the future, dog. Don't let death be in your future because a love triangle.
And it involves the man. Trey
I'm saying that,
Wright.
but
He
I
was
don't
just
think he
16
wanted
years
to be
old.
murdered.
On June
You know what I mean?
24th,
I think he was
police
just
say they
living
found
life.
him with multiple gunshot wounds around 11:30 p.m.
Gunshot
along a country
wounds?
road in South Carolina. Before I get to
Hold
the
on, where
news
is that?
wounds around 18 years old. On June 24th, police say they found him with multiple gunshot wounds around 11:30 p.m. along a country road in South Carolina.
Along a
Before
country
I get
road.
to
So they
the
dropped
two
the body.
suspects in this case and what one of them allegedly posted on Facebook, let's get you caught up to speed on how we got to this point. This is
I noticed when your response got dry. What the fuck is going on?
Devin Raper. He is the man who police say fired the bullets that killed Trey Wright. Raper appeared to try to put on this bad boy persona on social media. He has a TikTok that's still public, and you can see some of the pictures like this one here, where he's flipping the bird at the camera, and he has the caption, "I wish we never met. I wish you would have stopped giving me missed signals, but can you stop? Because I'm trying to get to know your friend right now." Now, Trey, it appears, knew his alleged killer.
Trey Wright. So I'm assuming Trey is the guy who was murdered.
Both followed each other on TikTok, but
Wow.
they were not friends. According to police, they were reportedly at odds over a girl at the time of Trey's murder. Now, it's unclear if this is the girl that they were fighting over. Her name is Gianna Kirstenmacher, and she was reportedly Trey Wright's girlfriend. The 17-year-old is charged with orchestrating his murder. The Florence County Sheriff's Office says
That's my city. Oh man, this happened in Florence, bro. Bro, that's my that's. Oh my god, yo. Golly, bro. I knew it. I just knew it. When the video started, I just knew this was gonna be from somewhere in the city I lived. And I lived in Florence. I'm from that area, the PD area. You know what I mean? That's where I'm from, you know? But dang, man. I do not live there now. I'm not doxing myself. Golly, man. Dang, man.
Her name is Gianna Kirstenmacher, and she was reportedly Trey Wright's girlfriend. The 17-year-old is charged with orchestrating his murder. The Florence County Sheriff's Office says that Kirstenmacher knew that there was a rivalry between...
So look, man, to all the fellas out there, man, let me talk to y'all real quick. A pretty face ain't worth your life. Vagina ain't worth your life. A nice butt and tits ain't worth your life. Why am I telling you this? There's other women out there, dog. And I'm going to tell you from experience. If a girl is in communication with another man, just know she don't want you for you, dog. And that's so obvious, but it got to be said. Leave that girl alone, bruh. Because at the end of the day, there's only one person she truly care about, and that's herself. She gonna take what she can from you as long as you allow it. She gonna get over on you as long as you allow it, and she gonna play with your emotions as long as you allow it. That kind of relationship is the most toxic relationship you could ever be in. And if you want your sanity, go ahead and leave that relationship. You more of a man leaving that relationship than you is fighting over that woman and losing your life. I'm not saying he lost his life that way. I'm just saying, like, it ain't worth it, dog.
Trey Wright and Devin Raper, and deputies say that she drove Raper to meet Wright on the night of his murder, quote, knowing that Raper was armed and that there would be a confrontation for violence likely to lead to death based on...
This kid he got to be 19.
Now, she was initially facing a charge of accessory before the fact, and she was denied bond at that time. But her charges have been upgraded. She is now facing a charge of murder in connection to the death of Trey Wright.
You're going to charge them all.
She's now out of jail. She was released on bond.
If you don't know about South Carolina, they're really big on the hand of one and the hand of all.
Held without bond. He is the one who allegedly fired the shots in this case. At his first court appearance, he tried to argue for himself in front of the judge. This is how it went down. This video per WBTW.
I did not do none of this. There was 4 more people.
All right, I'm not here to try
I
your,
understand that.
I'm not here to try your case, but you can speak to law enforcement and you can also
They
talk
won't,
to
they
your
won't.
attorney.
Before I get to the new suspect
Yeah, he's
in
19.
this case,
He's
it's important
19.
to know that Raper was known to the criminal justice system. He was arrested in August of last year on a charge of being an accessory after the fact to felony or murder, and he was released from jail in November, and then the charges were dismissed in February of this year, according to WBTW. Now, you heard Raper in that
So
court
he
video
thought he was gonna get away with
other
it.
people were involved in what happened, saying that there were 4 more people that were in the vehicle with him. Now, it's unclear who
States
he specifically
Road,
is talking about, but this
South
week,
21. I couldn't see the last
3
part of
more
that.
teenagers. Here are their mugshots.
I'm pretty sure I know where it is, though.
Corinne Belviso, Hunter Kendall, and Sydney Kearns. All 3 are now facing charges of murder.
I'm not
Now, it
familiar
appears
with any of those
Belviso
last names,
and
though.
Kirstenmacher
So that's a good
were
thing.
members of the same cheerleading team at a high school in Myrtle Beach. Arrest warrants that we received from the Florence County Sheriff's Office.
They weren't
show
even from
these
Florence?
New teenagers to be added to the list of suspects are accused of bringing Raper to the scene, knowing that he was armed and knowing there would be a violent confrontation. And
Wow.
Trey Wright was apparently no stranger to these new suspects. And what one of the new suspects posted on social media about Trey Wright really shocked us. Here it is. We found the social media of Corinne Belviso, now facing a charge of murder. On June 25th, which is the day after Trey Wright was killed, this is what she posted.
She posted, they've made a GoFundMe to help Trey's family. If you're able to donate, anything will help. Trey was one of my friends. We're heartbroken. I know. Oh my God. To know him was to love him. Long live Trey. Fellas, listen. If what I said previously, had a Facebook post to go along with it, it'd definitely be this right
On
here.
her Facebook page, it is a link to the GoFundMe page for Trey Wright saying, quote, they've made a GoFundMe to help Trey's family. If you're able to donate, anything will help. Trey was one of my friends. We're heartbroken. To know him was to love him. LLT. That stands for Long Live Trey. That has become a battle cry for people who are remembering him, honoring him, and calling for justice after his death.
That's tough.
Before I get back to this episode of On the Case, I need to take a moment and talk about our partner and sponsors at Morgan & Morgan. This is a law
Hold on, let
firm
me-
that is the largest injury
Let me-
law firm in the country.
You ain't gonna let me
More than
skip?
justice for more than
There it is.
500,000 or click the
YouTube
link
Premium,
below.
baby, for the win. Because I hate sitting through these, man.
Now, Belviso has a lawyer who is not holding back in saying that she's innocent. He told WPDE that his client is innocent, saying, quote, it's really simple. She's not guilty of anything. We've hashed through the stories. She's talked with police. I'm shocked she was charged, and I will defend this case.
But she brought him there,
every
though.
breath I have. She's not guilty of anything.
She brought him there, right? Am I tweaking? Didn't he say this young girl brought him? Or did she bring the murder? She brought one of them. She's an accessory.
Belviso
Come
and
on.
Kearns,
I mean, the lawyer's doing his
who were
job.
just arrested and charged in this case, they have been released from jail. They were granted $20,000 bond. Hunter Kendall was denied bond, and he is still in jail at the time of this recording. According to WPDE, in South
must have tried to
Carolina,
run. That's why
4
he got
other
up.
suspects have been arrested and charged with murder in the death of Trey Wright, which brings the number at the time of this recording to 9 people who have
Wow.
been charged in connection to Trey Wright's death. We have reached out to the Florence County Sheriff for the names of these new
That's
suspects
tough,
and
man.
information on their arrests. At the time of this recording, they have not gotten back to us. Joining us now from South Carolina to talk about this case is Tyler Bailey, civil rights and criminal defense attorney. It's
All right,
always great
Tyler.
to have you on
Hey,
Law
another
and
brother,
Crime.
man. What's up, man?
What do you make? I mean, 9 suspects in this case, all charged with murder in the death of Trey Wright. What stands out to you in just how law enforcement is going about this investigation?
Well, first, just on a human level, it's a tragedy, especially when you have young people involved in gun violence and loss of life like this. And the first thing that
I had this conversation with a guy earlier today about a situation like this. And he said, and I quote, I don't want to go to jail for my kids committing a murder, right? He says, I don't think that's fair for a parent to go to jail for a kid committing a murder. Now, I responded that I can agree with that, except for one occasion, and one occasion only. And this is the scenario I gave him. And I told him, I said, hey, if my daughter went and committed a murder with my firearm, I should be held just as responsible, especially if she's not even of legal age, right? So if I had a 16-year-old daughter or son, and they went and killed somebody, a classmate, with a firearm, and it was my firearm, I deserve to go to jail. Why? Because I was irresponsible with the weapon. I'm not saying I should be charged with murder. That's different. I'm pretty sure there's other charges you can face. You might not get slapped with the murder itself, but you can get slapped with, reckless endangerment, some other case with a firearm, right? Etc. In that case, I see nothing wrong with the parent going to jail for a kid murdering somebody with their firearm, because I feel like when you have a firearm in the home, one, it's okay to let the kids know. They should know how to properly use it in the event that I'm not home and they need to protect themselves. Yes, my kids will know how to properly unload and load a firearm. It is what it is. They're gonna know how to discharge the firearm and exactly what to do if they discharge the firearm on an intruder, right? My kids will know all of these things when they're of age. But if I go, right, and the gun's readily accessible for them, and they're not of age, that's a problem. I feel like that's a big problem, especially like in the inner cities. Like, for those of you who travel up and down 95, Florence is actually freaking big, but it's not really considered like the inner city, right? Like, it's still more of like you said, it's a bunch of country roads in Florence. They have a centralized city, yeah, but it's not like a New York or like a Greenville, or, you know what I mean, like or Charleston or Charlotte. It ain't like none of them cities. It's like a regular, big town, big city type of thing, but it ain't really a city. But yeah, I'm ranting, man. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it.
To my head was that this is kind of an unprecedented way to use the hands of one, hands of all.
Like I said,
jurisprudence, which is something that's used often in South Carolina.
Yes, it is.
Involving gun crimes or possession of drugs, but I haven't seen it much with murder, especially when you have young people. And it also appears to be a way for the local government and sheriff's office to probably combat youth violence, looking at a way to send a message that young people and kids, teenagers, schools starting back.
They are the first, and they're going to be the example, because this is not common in Florence. In the PD area, youth violence is not common. I mean, youth violence, yeah, I said that right. Because there's young adult violence, but as far as you're talking about like teenagers still in high school, like, this ain't common, right? They are the first, and they're going to be the example. And that is the worst position to be in. Like I said, South Carolina is very known for using the hand of one as the hand of all. I've almost been caught up in that. I'm not proud of it. I laugh it off, but I'm definitely not proud of it. But yes, it is a very common thing for them to do that. And, I feel for the families, but at the same time, like I said, parents, y'all gotta keep tabs on y'all kids, man. The kids, if there's any kids watching this, at least one that I hope you take something from this, and you whatever you think you's about to do, please don't do it. It ain't worth throwing your life away or losing your life, man.
Don't assist people who have firearms and are about to engage in an altercation, because you have 9 kids or young adults, some teenagers, some 18 or older, who actually helped the accused get to the victim, and the victim tragically lost his life. So is really unprecedented on those fronts. And then the bail also seems to be low because these are serious allegations that kids or young people, let me rephrase that, are charged with, but the bond does not seem indicative of the seriousness of the crime, which leads me to believe that this could be a way or a tool to get them all involved in the case by law enforcement and then possibly work out deals south from there.
Yeah, because
their life's ruined.
From what we know, several of the suspects have been released on $20,000 bonds. The man, Devin Raper, who is accused of firing the shots, he is still being held without bond.
Yeah, they're going to hold him.
What will prosecutors have to prove in these cases of the associates of the person they say fired the shots? What will they need to prove if they were to take these to trial?
They'll need to prove that the associates knew that the accused was going to the location with the intent to commit murder of somebody. And they're using the fact that they assisted him.
I think that'd be kind of hard.
He had a weapon and he knew he was going to the altercation, but they're going to need to prove there was intent on the front of the associates that this was going to occur, which is tough. You know, providing assistance,
yeah, that's true.
accessory before the fact of the crime is easier to prove than it is actually that they all participated in the murder with the intent, knowing that the accused was going to go there. He was going to commit a murder by shooting the victim who tragically lost his life. And that's a steep hurdle for the prosecution to make here.
Because Gianna Kirstenmacher, who is reportedly the girlfriend of the victim, and she was the first co-suspect with Devin Raper who was arrested, and it was believed that she was the one, according to law enforcement, who orchestrated this, knowing that the two of them were at odds, that Devin Raper was armed, and that she was bringing Devin Raper to meet Trey Wright, and then it ends in sadly, Trey Wright's death. And originally she was charged with accessory before the fact, and now she is facing a charge of murder.
Wow,
what is the difference between the two?
Accessory before the fact means that they provided assistance to the defendant or the accused here to further his ability to commit the crime. Accessory after the fact is when they provide assistance afterwards with knowledge, but accessory before the fact means that she knew that he was going to go there and he wanted to, use his firearm to engage in murder or attempted murder or something like that, and she helped him do it by orchestrating the whole thing. Murder, which is a lot of a steeper hurdle, means that she went there and actually helped him commit the murder. It's a little difference. It's a legal distinction. I think that the sheriff in the interview that I saw, he said that he was very methodical in speaking with the solicitor's office and investigators before upping the charges to murder for her as well. Accessory before the fact to me seems easier, and also is something that this case could be pled down to maybe if they dismiss the murder charges later.
Because you think of some of the other people involved.
So look, fellas. This is to the fellas out there. In a situation like this, that trigger man, I'm telling you right now, he's never seen the light of day. Everyone else is going to walk free with some community service, a long probation. I'm assuming the probation until they're at least the age of 25. Yeah, we're talking 7-8 years easy on probation, right? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a strict probation. I think a speeding ticket would put them in jail for the remaining of the probation, right? Let me tell you why I say they're gonna get probation, probably community service, shit like that, right? They already know who the trigger man is, right? Everyone else is going to be called to testify that he pulled the trigger on a plea deal. That case is closed, solid, because you got everyone who's there already. Everyone who is at the murder and witnessed this murder, they're going to be called to testify against him. So listen, don't be the trigger man. Matter of fact, don't kill anyone. At the end of the day, it really ain't worth. This is how I live my life, right? And I'm at the point where it's so easy to do the right thing that doing the wrong thing isn't normal. to the young men out there, and I'm gonna end the video right here because the rest of this, it's all legal jargon. I'm not gonna bore y'all with that. But to the young men out there who find themselves in a peculiar situation where they feel like they ain't got nowhere to look, listen. This is very cliche. Your parents, man. There are several times where I leaned on my parents when I felt like I was doing the wrong thing, and they looked out. Your parents are always going to tell you right. Even to this day, when I feel like before I make a decision, I go get second or third opinions, whether it's from my mom, my pops, from wherever, right? I go get those opinions because at the end of the day, I don't want to put myself in a position where I can't take care of home. You dig? And that's how I look at it. If I can't take care of home, I ain't doing it right. So therefore, every day, I live my life as if always aiming to do the right thing. So that way, I don't put myself in precarious situations where I feel like I'm gonna either lose my life or I'm gonna lose my freedom. With that being said, man, I try to make this as short as possible. I didn't want to make the video this long, but I rambled a little bit, man. So, without further ado, you have made it to the end of the video. And if you have made it to the end of the video, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. We setting the small goal of 100 subscribers, and let's get there whenever we get there, as long as we can get there. Make sure y'all share the video, like the video, comment down below. What do y'all think about this situation? If you're a young teen or a young adult, can't be no young teen. You're a young adult, man. Voice y'all opinions in the comments as well. Y'all voices need to be heard too at the end of the day. But I catch y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe.